Next up, we have a very heavy one, and this is probably going to be the most controversial choice of this video. Red Hood is not that good of a character. Hey guys, we are finally here with my first ever YouTube video on this channel, excluding my welcome to my channel video where I just explained what I'm going to be uploading on this channel. And in today's video, we're actually going to be ranking DC superheroes based on my personal opinion about them. This isn't who I think is the strongest or the best. This is just my favorites, most to least. I found a tier list that has a bunch of characters. We're not going to be ranking every single one of them, either because I don't know enough about them or I just don't think they're really relevant enough to spend my time on. So without further ado, boys, let's hop in. And real quick, guys, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Thank you guys so much for the support right off the bat. We're almost at 50 subs already, and I haven't even really uploaded a real video. So thank you guys so much. So let's take a look at the tier list. Alrighty, here it is. And here is all the characters. Like I said, we're not going to be ranking every single character. We're only going to be ranking the ones that I know and the ones that I think we should spend enough time on. And off the bat, Alfred. I don't think Batman is as half as good as he is in the comics without Alfred. Alfred is there always to keep him in check. Now, do I think he's an S+ superhero slash character? No, I think he's a great A character though. Next up is Aquaman. Now, I've got a weird history with Aquaman because I have read some Aquaman books, but I just cannot seem to like him. I do not like anything to do with underwater, so I did go into all these books with a doubtful mind, and it kind of overcame all of the actual storytelling. So I do have kind of a biased view on Aquaman, but this is basically what this entire list is. This is my favorite characters, so I'm not going to be ranking him high if I don't like him. But he's not a horrible character. I'm gonna put him in C. Alrighty, we have Azrael next. Reason I know this is obviously his most popular comic, Batman Nightfall, which is really one of my favorite Batman comics of all time. But I think Azrael is there in these Batman comics just to make the reader wish the Batman was back. But I do understand the comparison between him and Batman, about him being a much more violent and tone-setting Batman than actual Bruce Wayne is. So I can value that, but I really don't like him as much. So I think he's going to be going behind Aquaman. And guys, how I am ranking these, it is top to bottom on tiers and then left to right. So Aquaman is on top of Azrael in C tier. And oh my god, look at the character we have next. Barry Allen, the Flash. If you don't know this already, guys, my favorite character, DC character of all time. He is in S+. Sorry, I had that completely backwards. There, it's fixed. But Barry Allen is literally the definition of a great character. He has so much trauma, but he is always able to make the right decision and just do good. He has the power to literally do whatever he wants. Super speed is the most broken superpower in comics, and Barry Allen still finds a way to do the right thing every single time. And the reason I'm really biased towards this is Grant Gustin's CW Flash. I just love it. Bro, that crazy pull. Bat Cow is on this list, bro. Bat Cow. Are you kidding me? We're not ranking Bat Cow, but who we are ranking especially is Batman. And Batman for me is an S+ character. He is the reason I got into comic books in the first place. Now, some people do think he's overrated and just think there's way too much Batman work out right now, but it is such an in-depth character. Favorite Batman comic is actually pretty underrated. It's Batman the Imposter. It's a Black Label book. Definitely check it out. Sorry, I'm not ranking Beast Boy. I don't know enough about him, man. I haven't read much Titan stuff. Now, I have seen a little bit of Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. I don't know much about the other Blue Beetle, but the Jaime Reyes, he is a solid B character. Like I said, don't know much about him, so I'm not going to speak about him much, but I like him. Next up is Booster Gold, and oh my god, on TikTok, why is everybody a Booster Gold fan now? Why? Why is everybody a Booster Gold fan? I don't get it. He is still a really good character. He's not an A character. He's a B character. I think he's above Jaime Reyes, but that's about it. Cyborg Vic he's got one of the most heart-wrenching stories in DC Comics. His New 52 run and just him in the Justice League New 52 run is amazing, man. They are really able to portray how sad and depressing his story is, how his life is slowly by slowly getting taken away from his cyborg body, and it's really depressing and it really makes you feel for the character. He's such a great character, very underrated. I'm throwing him an S character. I'm throwing him in S tier. He's an underrated character. All right, very random one, but Deadman. We have Deadman here. I do like Deadman. He is like bottom C tier though. He's all right. And I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Dr. Fate. I need to read up on Dr. Fate, guys. I'm sorry. Firestorm, he is a pretty good character, except then the reason I know a lot about him is the CW Flash show, and he is so much different in the comics than he is in that show. It gives me mixed opinions on him, but overall, he's a pretty good character. He's like a bottom B character. Alrighty, I see this next row where there's going to be a lot of actual characters I get to vote on, and one is Ganthet. Oh my god. All my homies love Ganthet. For honestly everything, all my opinions on Green Lantern is specifically because of Jeff Johns, and Ganthet is a homie, man. If I'm right, he's the creator of the Blue Lantern Corps, right? For Compassion, I think it is. I need some fact checks on my ball knowledge, but he's kind of like an Alfred. He's just a homie, man. Green Arrow, I know this character very well, but I haven't actually read up on him too much. But he always does surprise me with how actually good he can be. I think he's like above, I think he's a high B tier. Yeah, he's a high B tier. And we're at my boy, Guy Gardner. Now, guess who's next to each other? Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan. They're so close in rank. Oh, it's so hard. I do really believe that they're both S tier characters, but who is above Who is above another? Who is it, man? I do think they're both better than Cyborg, so I'm gonna do that. But I do think Guy Gardner is better, is truly better than Hal Jordan. He's hilarious, man. I'm sorry, I can't do any Hawk Girls or Hawkman. I just don't know enough about him, man. Impulse is a really funny, witty character. I really do like Impulse in the Flash family. He's a solid B character. I think he is above Jaime Reyes. I really do think so. Jay Garrick Flash. Now, I think he is a perfect... Oops, I just opened up a code. How did I even do that? I really do think Jay Garrick is a lower end A character. He does a lot. He sets up the Flash very well, especially Barry Allen. But I think he doesn't compare to the other Flashes, but I still respect him a lot to put him in A tier. Jesse Quick, I think, is on the other end of the Flash family. She's definitely not a C tier character, or an F tier character, but she certainly is a C tier character. I'm really not a big fan of her, honestly. Jim Gordon, another Batman universe character, dude. Again, he's kind of like an Alfred. It's really, you can't have Batman without a Jim Gordon, but he's not that as weighted as Alfred is, so I think he is a high-end B character. I don't think he's better than Green Arrow, though. All right, Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen is a fun, witty character, but I don't think he's important enough to be anything higher than a C tier. That's why he's going right in front of Jesse Quick. John Stewart, I don't like him as much as Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan, but that's for most people. He is a really good character, though. He's lower A tier. I don't think he's better than Jay Garrick. Kilowog, again, I love him, but he's just not as important. I think he's a solid B tier. I really do think he's better than Booster Gold, so we're going to put him there. Kyle Rayner, now, I haven't read all the way through Jeff Johns' run, and I feel like if I do finish that run, he's going to be a lot higher. But again, he's right there with John Stewart for me. Yet, if I do this next video in like another year, it could be completely changed because I haven't finished Jeff Johns' run. And next up is Crypto, the goodest boy. I love you, Crypto. Crypto is like actually... non-jokingly an S character. I love him. Lois Lane, I really do think she's obviously really important to the Superman character, but I feel like she can get stereotyped pretty easily into different runs where she's just this cocky reporter that is always bagging on Clark Kent and is always rooting for Superman, even though that's Clark Kent. So it's tough to put her somewhere when she has that hard stereotype on her, but I really do think she's still a really good character. End of an A tier right there. Martian Manhunter. Again, not read much of him, but I've read a lot of Justice League stuff with him in it. I don't think he's as important as any other member besides Aquaman, in my opinion. So I do really think he's a middle of the pack B tier character. Like, I really like him more than, I like Kilowog more than him. I would rank Metamorpho, but I've literally only read him. Actually, I've never read him. I've only seen him in the new Superman movie, so I feel like that's not fair judgment. And then same thing with Mr. Miracle. I haven't read anything from him. I really want to. He seems like such a cool character. Now we're left with Mr. Terrific. Oh my god. He has such aura, bro. Mr. Terrific is, I think, better than Alfred. He is a high A character. He is so peak, bro. And alrighty, we are left with Nightwing. Nightwing, oh my boy, where do I start? Nightwing, I think, is in the exclusive S plus club. I don't think he's as good as Batman, but he's right up there, man. He is right up there. Especially, so many people bag on Tom Taylor's run just because it doesn't have like the really hard weight of a story that maybe people, Nightwing fans, want him to have. Thinks it's bad. It is such a light-hearted run of Nightwing, and it really shows how good Dick Grayson can be as a human, both in Dick Grayson form and Nightwing form, man. It's just, it boggles my mind how people call that a bad run. I love that run, man, with my heart. That's why I love Nightwing so much. Next, we have Oracle. Great character. She's just not important enough, but she's actually, I think she's better than Lois Lane, in my opinion, but that's what I think. So I don't feel like ranking Perry White or Plastic Man. I don't really. Power Girl is Power is weird. We're left with the Question. Question's a really fun character. I think he and she is like middle of the pack, A tier, like great character, honestly. But do I think they're better than Kyle Rayner and Jon Stewart? No, they're gonna go right there in A tier. Next up, we have a very heavy one, and this is probably gonna be the most controversial choice of this video. Red Hood is not that good of a character. Yes, he has some of the best aura in all of DC Comics. In his debut comic, Under the Red Hood, it was a banger, man. It really is a banger. But since then, it has been straight shit after shit, man. DC writers are like invulnerable to making a good DC, like a good Red Hood character. I really don't think I don't even think he's better than Booster Gold. Hot take, but he's not that good. Okay, this is kind of confusing me, I will be honest. This next one is Robin, but it doesn't specify which Robin. Obviously, it's not Dick Grayson, Nightwing, or Red Hood, Jason Todd, but it's not specifying whether it's Tim Drake or Damian Wayne. This looks like Damian Wayne, and if so, I really do like Damian Wayne. He's probably top 2 Robins for me. It goes Nightwing, Damian Wayne, Tim Drake, then Jason Todd. I think he's a good character. He's a good A character. Damian is a really good character. He can go right next to the Question for me. Alrighty, next up, John Kent Superboy. Great character, honestly. I love the trope of Superman's son, but he's just not weighted enough. I don't think there's ever like that much weight like how Superman has on him. So I do think he's like bottom B tier, but he's still a fine character. Supergirl, she is a very low end A tier character. I think all the way. Actually, I think she's gonna go top of B tier. Arrow's gonna move up to A. Sorry. And here we are with the man, the myth, the legend. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Superman. I really don't think you can rate him anything hot, like less than an S plus, really. Out of personal bias, I still do think Batman, I like Batman more, but I've grown so much respect recently of Superman just because of how good this man is, and the utmost respect, man. In some of the stories, especially, like, I know it's not an actual comic book, but the Superman movie, which is obviously based on a lot of comic books, it just gave the character so much more hope that new like DC fans just really didn't recognize from Superman. Like, Superman, for me, for the longest time, was looked at as a really boring character, but recently with the Superman movie, it has brought so much great light on this character and has really shown how good this character can be. And I cannot wait to see him going forward in the DCU. And ever since I've been picking up every single Superman comic I can, and they've just been amazing, man. Nearing the end of the list, we don't have many characters left, like many at all. Wallace West, again, not my favorite Flash member. I don't think he's better than Impulse, but he's right there, so I'm gonna put him right next to Impulse. And right after Wallace West is Wally West. Oh, it's so tough. Because, like I said, there's nothing, my favorite Flash is easily Barry Allen, but Wally West is such a good character that he is right there behind him. I think he's a better character than Batman. I really do. I really truly think that. And I feel like with DC Comics, they've just been able to explore Wally West so much more than Barry Allen, just because of the choices they made with their writing. And it's really helped out Wally's character so much, and it's really been amazing because obviously it's like a universal thing that Wally is such a goated character, And that's my respect for him. After that, do I even have another character to rank? Wonder Woman. Some respect to Wonder Woman, man. Some respect. She is an easy S tier character. I think she's a high S tier character. Done so much for women comics and just women in general, man. Wonder Woman's the GOAT. Max Mercury, honestly, pretty good Flash character, Flash team character. I do like him better than both Impulse and Wally. And honestly, Booster Gold Red Hood. I like Max, man. And the last character on this list is the Spectre. Goated Spectre. If you want the best Spectre comic of all time, read Kingdom Come. Literally, Spectre is not, I mean, he's a main part of that story, but he's also not a main part of that story. It's weird. Just read it, and he's goated, man. So for where I'm gonna throw them, I think he's again a B tier character. Again, he just doesn't do as much, but when he's put together with Hal Jordan, makes for an awesome character, but standalone character, eh. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is my first ever tier list. This is my DC superheroes tier list. I feel like I'm gonna come around and do this maybe a year later, and I'm gonna have so much more bottle knowledge against like all these characters right here, because I do really want to expand my horizon on what characters I read, because I do stick to a lot of Batman, a lot of Flash stuff. I do stick to a lot of Green Lantern stuff as well. I just limit myself just because if I like the character, why not stop reading them? But I do want to touch my toes in all the different types of characters. So yeah, but guys, that'll be it for my first ever YouTube video on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.